Mark.
Are you able to hear me?
Hey, buddy. And just so you know, we can't see you. We can only hear you. That's the rules of engagement. And I just want to remind everybody that's here tonight that if you want to come on the mic, and you may know this already if you've been here before, but we love talking to people like yourself, like in person, like here. But we can't see you. So if you're picking your nose or anything like that, keep doing it and talk away, my friend. And also, please let us know what state you're in and if your agency, if possible, if you feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm out in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Nice. Oh, there you go. Okay. Just so you know, John is an Arizona lawyer and former cop in Arizona.
Yeah, I was able to attend his search procedure. It was awesome. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So the other night, I made a stop. There was a car failing to maintain lane. I go up to contact the driver. There's 3 occupants in the car. As I'm speaking to the driver, I can see signs of impairment. There's some stutter, some red shot. I call another officer to do some field tests, some sobriety field tests. As he's doing it, he concludes his investigation saying, hey, she's DUI, or the suspicion of DUI. And then she gets placed in the back of the patrol car. I'm standing by the other 2 occupants. One's in the front passenger seat, one's in the back. That pretty much concluded my traffic stop because they're like, hey, like the car's getting towed. So as soon as the front passenger exits, he grabs a bag, starts walking away. The back passenger grabs a backpack from the vehicle, walks away. And then an officer sees on the floorboard, front passenger floorboard, meth pipe attached to this like water bottle bong type, resembling drug paraphernalia. So we detained the 2 occupants because they just came from the vehicle. And so I think I'm pretty good to search the backpacks because they're containers from the vehicle. And I have probable cause for the vehicle because of the meth pipe. My question being, is that back passenger seat his person? Am I allowed to, like, I searched his bag, there was nothing in his backpack, but I don't know about his actual person.
Okay, so just before John answers this question, because I think he's, I want him to tee this up because he's definitely the, Arizona expert here. But so the paraphernalia was found in the front passenger?
Front passenger floorboard.
And you're also referring to the rear passenger, searching the rear passenger, their bag and the person, right?
Correct.
Okay. John, you want to take a stab at this?
So driver is DUI. And we remove her from the vehicle. We got no indication of nervousness from anybody else inside the vehicle, no indication of active drug user lifestyle, no attempts at deception, nothing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Was the driver just I don't know if this helps or hurts John's equation here or analysis, but was the driver DUI drugs or alcohol?
DUI drugs.
Okay. And were they was she? You said she, right? Was she related to anybody in the car, as far as just friends?
Just friends, from what they told me.
No boyfriend in the car.
Ex-boyfriend, back passenger.
Ex-boyfriend. Okay. So, John, keep going.
Yeah. So, and I'd like to get your input on this too, Anthony, because this is fun, right? So I've got drugs inside the vehicle. And so that gives me probable cause to believe that there's additional evidence of the crime inside the vehicle, Carroll doctrine. So I can search anywhere inside the vehicle that could reasonably contain the evidence of the crime for which I have probable cause to believe is contained therein, right? And drugs. Yep. Where can you hide drugs? You can hide drugs anywhere, right? And so now I've also got nexus to front seat passenger based on his location and proximity to the drug paraphernalia. And so, I'm good on him, good on his.
You're good on the back passenger based on the probable cause?
Well, the back passenger, I haven't got to the back passenger yet. Right?
Oh, you said the front passenger. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm saying, front passenger. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now, as far as my back passenger goes, this is, arguably kind of complicated, right? Because had he left the bag inside the car, that's a container inside the car. I'm good with it. Not operating under the realm of consent.
So what do you think about, just to kind of target this though, do you think it's going to matter to the court that potentially arguments that the PC came after the bags were removed and we no longer have the motor vehicle exception?
But they're recent occupants, aren't they?
I think so.
PC for them? I don't have. I mean, I have PC for front passenger. I don't have PC for rear passenger.
Hmm.
Ah. Hmm. Well, what are you saying? What are you? How are you going with that?
All right. So here's the deal. All right. So first of all, let's the first hurdle I think I want to address is, do you think that meth pipe on the passenger floorboard is, I'm just, maybe yes or no, but is it going to allow a search of the entire vehicle? That, with those facts that we know, let's forget the backpacks have been removed at this point.
Okay.
Are we good on the motor vehicle exception with those facts?
Yes. And I'm saying
Okay.
because she's DUI drugs, and so this isn't your situation where we've got PC for the passenger, and the PC for the passenger doesn't automatically give us PC for the contents of the vehicle. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're good. You're good. So that's the first hurdle.
Okay.
So, right. I mean, would a judge give you a warrant based on, I think I love how you talked about the driver being influenced with the drugs. I think that's imperative. For me, I think I kind of need that. Otherwise, it's a really weak case. I'm not saying I wouldn't uphold it, but it's so weak without that. But the driver is DUI drugs. There's a meth pipe on the floorboard. Presumably the backpack, or the front passenger was near it. Drugs can be put in the backpack. I think we have a Wyoming. How you say that? Is it a Houghton? Is that how you say it, or Houghton? How you say that case?
Houghton.
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 So yeah, we have like a Wyoming versus Houghton case, a scenario. So you're good with that. Okay. Now the next hurdle is change the facts, change the answer. Because the bags are pulled out of the car before the cop found the probable cause to search the car. Shit, we got to back up even more, John. We got to back up a little more. Let's talk about Arizona versus Gant. Do we actually need, do you think Arizona versus Gant, their evidence-related search doctrine, they can call it search into the arrest, but I don't like calling it that because it implies searching it just because you arrest somebody. But that search isn't to arrest, where the U.S. Supreme Court, Scalia said that you can search it if you have reason to believe that there's offense-related evidence inside that vehicle. You can search that vehicle, and he did not say, and nobody's saying that it's owner-specific, right? It's just wherever the evidence could be. I think we could probably get into those bags with Gant. Yes or no? Am I wrong on that?
Okay. So you're saying second prong Arizona versus Gant. You're saying reason to believe evidence of the crime of arrest for the driver is
what do you think?
in backseat passenger's bag?
Yeah, that's pushing it, isn't it?
Well, and I mean, I don't know. I like it, right? I like that approach. Why? Because reason to believe, what is that standard? That's a low standard, right? That is a low standard. That's arguably lower than reasonable suspicion.
Yeah. I think we're good there, because I don't think I've never seen a case here where it says that the second prong of Gant requires ownership of the person you have probable cause for. I believe I believe the interpretation is, where do you reasonably, well, now that's part of it, where do you reasonably believe the evidence of the offense could be, right? And could the driver have put their drugs in a passenger's backpack? I think the answer is, it's reasonable to believe that. Birds of a feather flock together. And why? It's not an Uber, it's not a Greyhound bus. Why wouldn't that be reasonable?
Sure. Yeah. No, I like it. I like it.
Okay. So I would probably uphold it, my interpretation of Gant. But let's skip Gant. That might be the easy way to handle this. But let's now go to probable cause. There is an issue here, and I do have a case called State versus Lewis. It's a case out of Maine, 1992, where basically, let me read these. Let me see if I got these facts right. So it says the officer ticketed the driver for DUI. Old school. It's a 1992 case. Okay, so getting a ticket for DUI, not mandatory jail like most states are. Removed his carry-on bag from the car and got into the squad car to get a ride home to a ride to a hotel. So this is definitely some very Class A service here. You only get a ticket for DUI and you're getting a ride to the hotel. I like it. But when the officer asked to search the bag, the defendant said he would put the bag in his car and got as far as placing the bag on the roof of the car when the officer intervened and searched the bag. so maybe it's not very similar facts, but they rejected the state's reliance on Acevedo, which has been overturned. But basically, a motor vehicle exception doctrine saying on the present facts here, at the time the defendant's carry-on bag was inside his automobile, the police did not have probable cause to believe the defendant possessed any contraband at all in the car or otherwise. This is not a really good case.
Okay.
So, but the reason I brought this up is because they are saying that Acevedo is talking about, the Supreme Court has always said it's the bags in the car at the time of the probable cause. So that's why I kind of used that case there. Anyway, so I have a problem with it, but here's my counter argument. I think the courts will still uphold it because it was contemporaneous. It's not that far removed. When it's like, it's not, I think the rule would not be, hey, pastor, take your stuff out, you grab your bag, and boom, you see a kilo of cocaine on the floorboard, and the bag has crossed the threshold outside the car by the time the cops saw the kilo of cocaine, right?
Right.
You can maybe do search into arrest, whatever, but I think that the motor vehicle exception applied because it's contemporaneous. The cop found the probable cause around the same time that the bag was removed. Would you agree with that?
I would. And I think, right, Supreme Court repeatedly is talking about officers need bright line rules. And I don't think they're going to get into the nitty gritty and say, well, was it 1 inch outside of the car when you saw it? Was it 2 inches outside of the car? That's Ninth Circuit nonsense.
Yeah, that's Ninth Circuit nonsense. Ninth Circuit. It's Ninth Circus. But the thing is, what about this though? What if the guy is 2 blocks down the road? They're doing an inventory search, and now they find probable cause underneath the seat, whatever, and they chase him down 2 or 3 blocks away and say, "Hey, now I'm searching your bag." Do you think the courts would uphold that?
Well, now we're getting into a search incident to arrest analysis, right?
Oh, but not under the motor vehicle exception.
Correct.
Okay, I agree. I just don't think it sounds reasonable to me. And, we have to, part of the thing that we do for here, for our students here is we try to make, some case law. We want to make good case law. I think that Mark is making good case law. And then change the facts, change the answer. I think you can cross a line where now you're going to have to have another reason to get into it. So Mark, we like it. We're good with it. Based on those reasonings, Arizona versus Gant and the old fashioned Carroll doctrine, I think both work.
Thanks, guys.
All right, you're welcome.